What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video, and today we'll be going through the team selection for game week 32 for this FPL season 2020-2021. My name is Mo and this is my channel FPL INKLING. Before we begin, I want to send out Ramadan Mubarak or Happy Ramadan to everyone who's fasting. Today was the first day for myself. I know some people started yesterday. So that's why if you guys see my eyes looking a bit heavy, you guys can be aware that I haven't had my full sleep. But yet here we are. We'll be making a video around the team selection for myself. Questions you guys have sent in, and we'll review the fixtures lineup as well. How is everyone? What is going on? How was game week 31 for you? Did you guys do well? The average was around 46, so I got just above 46, so I got 48 for the week. Kevin De Bruyne didn't play, so that is something which kind of caught my eye and made me make my decision for this week coming ahead, which we'll discuss and my rationale behind my decisions. But before we do that, just want to let you guys know, thank you for all your subscriptions and your kind messages. We have crossed the 200 mark. Help me get to 500 by the end of the season and win that PS5. For my friend, I know you guys are watching and not subscribing yet, because there's still around 55%, 55, 60% of people who watch this content and still have not subscribed. So hit that subscribe icon, hit the notifications icon for the latest notifications of my video and content. And if you do like this video, hit that like icon. So let's begin with this week's questions, and I'll tell you my team selection as well. So what we'll do a bit of a breakdown. I'll give you a bit of my decisions around the teams. I'll give you my transfers. We'll start from the goalkeeper, and we'll work our way through my rationale behind my selection or transfers, anyone I'm looking for in the coming weeks. And I'll also go through the fixtures that I have on the left of your screen, which is the double game week for Spurs. So we can actually go through and discuss any other questions that you guys may have for me. So let's begin with my transfer for the week. So as you guys can see, there is no Kevin De Bruyne. And another thing, there is no Man City player in my team. I've gone from, in the last 2 weeks, I've gone from 3 Man City assets, which was Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez and Phil Foden. And I've actually literally just got rid of all 3 of them. Now that can literally, I'm just going to be honest, it's down to the risk of rotation, the number of competitions that they're within. Congrats to Man City for progressing to the next stage of the Champions League by beating Borussia Dortmund. So, they've got a lot of things to balance. They've got a big squad, big depth, and the pep roulette, now it's not even safe for any player. I think if you do want a player who you know is going to be guaranteed week in, week out football, it's probably going to be their goalkeeper, Ederson. And then that's going to be closely followed by, let's say, Diaz. I think he'll be quite certain nailed on for most games, but even he's at risk of rotation. I would have said someone like Kevin De Bruyne, but even he isn't a certainty anymore, as you guys have seen, being dropped against, being rotated against Fulham a couple of weeks ago and last week against Leeds. I mean, what about the result, guys? Leeds 2-1 to Man City. 10 men at the Etihad. I think that was what I heard from one of the social media outlets. I think it's the first time Man City have lost to a team who's been down to 10 men at the Etihad. And the Etihad, I know for a fact, has been around for about nearly 15 to 20 years. So that's a huge achievement for Leeds themselves. They played a really exciting brand of football. I think what people don't give credit to Leeds for, there's a lot of praise around Bielsa, his tactics, how he's kind of come along. But for me, I think one of the good things about Leeds is they don't move away from their vision. Their vision is very clear. They want to play attractive football, play within their means, play within their talent, and kind of really stretch the opposition. Whether that's Man City or irrespectively Sheffield United, which is completely the other scale of the Premier League table. Now, another thing which for me was a highlight of this whole performance was Patrick Bamford only played for around 45 minutes of the game. Due to the red card to Leeds, they had to make rotation. He got me an assist, got me 4 points, and then he was subbed off, and they still won. That's tough to him, and I think the fact that Kevin De Bruyne wasn't even considered as a sub, despite losing. It was quite a tough one to take, and having a player on the team who was my captain issue, but it got changed to Kane, who got 4 points anyway. So my captaincy didn't really pay off last week, but it was tough to take having a player like Kevin De Bruyne being benched twice in the last 3 game weeks. So for me, it was one of those where I was going to look at like alternative players for similar price ranges, their fixtures, and how I think they're going to be better suited moving forward. So I brought in Mo Salah. So Mohamed Salah is the player that I've brought in. His ownership now is about 31.5%. It was about 29% when I brought him in a few days ago, just after the game week finished. So he got 7 game week points in 31, which was last week. He's got a total of 189 points this season. 12.5 mil is his price, so his price hasn't really deteriorated or changed much since the start of the season. But let's have a little bit of a review of how he's done so far. So, if we take his last 3 game weeks, you can see he's got 2 assists and 2 goals. Just 2 goals, and that's 2 clean sheets. There's no points for him because he's a midfielder. Actually, there is. He's a midfielder, isn't he? Yeah. He gets a point for that. As you can see, there's a few clean sheets there as well. So you've always got the luxury of, if you have him in your team, you're going to captain him. That's an extra point or 2 when you have him in the side. I think what kind of like prompted me towards him is the fixture run. Now they are out the Champions League. They unfortunately lost to Real Madrid, which kind of like strengthens my argument for bringing someone like Salah in. It kind of vindicates my point. He didn't have a great night against Madrid in the Champions League. However, look at the fixtures that they have coming along. Leeds is quite an open fixture. He got a hat-trick first game of the season. I'm not going to say he's going to get one again, but I don't see a reason why he can't, because of the nature of the way they kind of like push forward, can open spaces up for a player like Salah, and his nature. The Newcastle, barring Manchester United, all of those games for me are winnable, and for them to be winnable, I think Mo Salah is going to play a huge part in terms of how Liverpool finish their season. They only have the Champions League position to play for. There's no trophies that they're actually competing for. They're no longer in the FA Cup. They're no longer in the League Cup. And they're no longer in the Champions League. So Klopp has to literally just play week in, week out Premier League football. And I don't think it's time for that. They don't really have the scope or ability to kind of risk a rotation or anything like that with Mo Salah. Mane, yes, there has been, because he has had lack of form and he hasn't played very well recently, but that's what I brought in. So my only one change this week, no hits. It's been Mo Salah. So the formation I'm playing is 3-5-2, as you guys can see. So what we'll do, we'll start from Martinez and we'll go through my defence. Then we'll go through a few questions, and then we'll go through the rest of the team and a few questions coming along through it. So let's have a look at my goalkeeper. So I've got Martinez, who's playing Man City. He's the best goalkeeper in the league, in the game so far this year. Yes, there's a lot of reds here. We've gone through this previously. He's still owned by around 40% of managers. 161 points. I don't see a reason why he can't get a few bonus points, even if he does concede. So in the last game week, yes, he did concede, but he got 4 points still as well. Let's get that going. Against Liverpool, yep, so he did concede 2 goals, but he still got 4 points for the number of saves. 8 saves he made, so he got 4 points. So for me, again, if I've got a goalkeeper who's conceding a goal and still getting near enough, an extra point or 2 for the saves they make, kind of puts them in a really good stead. And they do have the fixture of Everton to be rearranged. They've always been 2 fixtures behind, so I think they've got the Spurs game, which is going to be the double game week, which was already played, so that was the one that went through. Now they've got 1 left. I think Everton's the team that has 2 games still to be rearranged. So that's going to be interesting to see what actually arises from here. So we can have a look here to see that they've got West Brom after that, Everton, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, and then Tottenham, Chelsea, and Everton. So that's why I have Martinez in my squad. Cons are the same. Aston Villa, same fixtures. 6.7% ownership for only 4.7 million in price, and he's crossed the 100 points mark as well. These 2 are going to remain probably in my team unless there's an injury or I have a drastic change of mind of my plans, but they will remain. Rudiger, it's against Brighton. Again, there is a risk of rotation, but I do have Alioski on my bench who can come on. He did play last week against Crystal Palace. Got 2 points. They did concede, which is a shame. They won 4-1. But yeah, I mean, they looked a bit more like assertive at the back with Rudiger in there. So it would be nice to see if he gets another game rather than being risk of rotated. It all depends on whether Thiago Silva starts after his suspension or not. So they've got a bit of a mixture of fixtures. So you can see a bit of green, a bit of red, a bit of, I say maroon, it's danger, which is Man City. So they've got a good combination. Now, I am thinking of maybe transferring him out because my intentions to bring him in as a Chelsea asset was for just these 3 games. Unless he has an absolute, phenomenal game here, and he kind of makes me think, okay, keep him in as a risk of rotation and kind of like strengthen elsewhere. We'll have to see how that goes through as the kind of like weekend pans out, as he's playing Brighton at home as well. So the next defender I've got is Reguilon. Now, I've backed him for the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really given me a return. No clean sheet since I brought him back in. 5.5 mil, 4.2% ownership, 68 points. Now, I think his ownership's gone up this week due to the fact that, it's a double game week and they're playing 2 games rather than 1. So they've got Everton and Southampton. Then he does blank in game week 33 because there is the League Cup final, of course, against Manchester City. So for me, am I looking to get rid of him after this game week? Potentially, yes. What defenders am I looking at? I'm looking anywhere between, Van Bissaka, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Michael Keane. Now, the reason why I'm thinking of Michael Keane is because of the extra 2 fixtures. So am I looking to maximise him already? We will have to see. I don't think Everton's fixtures are that great. But if you look at the fixtures of Reguilon here, I mean, after the blank game week, he's got Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Aston Villa, Leicester. They're all winnable games. But the only question that I have is, are they going to win them? That's the question, because they haven't shown me anything that I've seen from Spurs is where they've shown any kind of unity, consistency, any kind of like, they haven't really shown me that desire to really drive home any advantage. Now, these 2 games can actually change my mind, but defensively they've been absolutely all over the place. Even the Tottenham fans are actually showing discontent amongst themselves. But yeah, they are a lot of friendly fixtures just there. Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Aston Villa. I think the issue is that with Tottenham, that they're going to keep a clean sheet. They'll win the games, I reckon, but it's just the clean sheet part. I'm not too comfortable with that. But hey, let's see how it goes. Whether I keep him or not is yet to be seen. So let's go through some questions as well. So we've gone through the defence and my goalkeeper. I got a question asking about should I play my bench boost. The players on the bench they have is Ollie Watkins, Lacazette. Oh, so you're playing 1 striker only on the main squad. Fair enough. And Alioski. They got Watkins, which is Man City, Liverpool. I mean, personally, if you've got bench boost and you've got 3 Spurs players, I'm pretty sure you will do. I think it's time you play that bench boost because I don't really see many other game weeks coming along with such friendly fixtures, in my opinion, for Spurs. Now that I've said that, I could have potentially jinxed them and they could blank in both game weeks. But if you've got 3 Spurs assets and you want to kind of like maximise your bench boost, then yep, there's a good chance of doing this. There may be another double game week later on in the season, but there's no confirmation around that yet. That's all like based around the FA Cup fixtures and Champions League because of the tight schedule. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, if you got bench boost, personally, if I had it here and this is my squad and I had Watkins and Alioski on the bench, I think, yeah, I probably would have played it. Because Watkins has been in some really good form recently, and Alioski obviously got an assist last week playing Liverpool. Liverpool haven't really been that great with the recent results, so it would be a really good chance, maybe they will be attacking them as well, so there's a good chance of a return there. So I probably would have gone for a bench boost myself, so that's something that I would personally play if I was you, if I had that option available this week. Who's the best captain this week? So anyone from Spurs, anyone from Lloris all the way to Kane. I've got Harry Kane because it's double game week and I think he'll score. If he does blank in one game, at least he's got another game to fall back on. I'm hoping he'll get like a double-digit score, so 10 points onwards, so I can get a good overall score for the game week. Son's quite popular. Lucas Moura has a differential. I've heard some people talk about the goalkeeper Lloris themselves, so it'd be worth seeing what people actually do choose. But for me, it is going to be Harry Kane for this game week. what will be the best formation play? So I'm playing 3-5-2. I've had a lot of people who just sent me in some teams saying 4-4-2, 4-3-3, some options as well, and 3-4-3 as well. So those are the most popular kind of formations. I did get one team that was sent to me, which was 5-2-3, which is actually a really good squad, to be fair. I shouldn't really laugh, but that was a really good squad. They had, I think, Bruno, Salah as the two kind of midfielders. 3 strikers, I think, were Bamford. I think it was Bamford, Calvert-Lewin, and Ollie Watkins. And then he had 5 defenders in their team. So it's a really good team there. But I would say, 3-5-2, 4-4-2, or 3-4-3 would be the best one for this week. I would like to play my wild card. Is it better to play this week or the week after? Well, it depends on what team you have. As I said, if you've already loaded up on Spurs players, I don't think you need to really play your wild card. However, if you have 3 Spurs players, if you don't have 3 Spurs players in this week and you want to kind of build your squad moving forward for overall the season, then yes. But for me, if you've got 3 Spurs players and they've got no games in the next game week itself, then maybe look to play your wild card, keep maybe like Kane or Son on the bench and kind of strengthening your overall 15-man squad, and then build your squad from there. So I wouldn't play it this week just yet, unless you've got 3 Spurs players. If you don't have them, then it's probably a good chance for you to kind of get them in, make a squad where you can move forward with 15 players, just in case, moving forward, you'll have 11 players that will be playing next week in the game week because Spurs won't be playing. But again, there's Man City assets as well, so be careful how you do choose your team. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play it this week. I'd play it the week after, so you can actually plan your squad moving forward for the rest of the season. Next question: which players should I avoid? Any Man City players? Now that I've said that, one of them's just gonna come around and score like a double-digit game week return in their game against Aston Villa. But the reason why I'm saying that is the risk of rotation. I mean, you might have the players who get the returns. I don't know who's going to be playing. It could be Gundogan, it could be Foden, Mahrez, Sterling. Sterling hasn't played for how many games now? Aguero, Jesus, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Fernan Torres, Fernandinho, Stones, Cancelo, Walker, Zinchenko, Mendy, Laporte, Ake, all these players that I'm talking about. There's not going to be 11 players always playing every single game. So for me, avoid Man City for this week and next week, obviously, because they won't be playing in the game week. Potentially, I would say Aston Villa players, if you don't have them in your squad at the moment, I wouldn't bring them in personally. But I've got them in my team, so I am going to back them all the way. So those are the 2 teams I'm saying at the moment. Maybe Leeds as well, because they've got Liverpool this week and Manchester United next week. Try to avoid them bringing them in. If you've got them in your squad like I have, leave them in. Should I play my triple captain chip on Kane? Yeah, I mean, if you were brave enough not to use it on the last double game week that they had, where he got 8 points, so people got 24 points on the triple captain, hats off to you. That was a good brave call. I mean, it could be less points this time, if not the same, but there's a chance you could get a bit more returns because I think, he's in really good form. 43 points in the last 5 game weeks before this game week that went by. Still looks sharp against United, didn't get really any returns, but I think why not? Triple captain. Don't really see many other game weeks coming double-wise. I mean, even if there are, it's just far too risky to leave it so late. So yeah, I would say play it this week. Maybe Son. Maybe Kane. I mean, I'd definitely play it on Kane if I had the the triple captain chip on this team's week. Will Maddison be back for this game week? Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, I think it was himself, Perez, and another player who, Fofana, I think, they were breaking their protocols for. I think it was COVID that I read somewhere, so I'm not too sure if they'll be back or not, but it's disastrous. I mean, will that cost him his England squad place? I'm not too sure, but Maddison, with him in the team, it'll be a huge boost for Leicester. They've got some really hard fixtures coming up in the last 3 game week fixtures of the season, so they need to get as many points as they can before they hit that, because those teams are the teams in and around them that are looking for that 4th position. So before we go to the next questions, we'll go through our midfield and my choices around it. So I've picked Son, As my vice captain this week, 45% ownership, 9.4 mil, 187 points. Scored a goal against United, got 7 points. It's a double game week, so that's why I have him in. I don't intend to get rid of him in game week 33. I'll probably leave him on my bench. Got some really good games ahead of him. They got Champions League to go for, only the League Cup. I don't see much of a rotation for him because he's an asset player for Mourinho and Spurs. Salah, we discussed, I brought him in. He's going to be my newest asset to my team. Bruno Fernandes, 57% ownership, 216 points. Didn't get anything against Spurs, had a really good chance, which was saved by Hugo Lloris. A really good kind of on the dip, half volley, kind of punched away. But he had a good game. I think he brought a lot to it. He's been a bit quiet recently by FPL terms. Only 1 assist in the last 3 games. And only 1 goal in the last 7 outings for him. But hey, he's got some really good fixtures coming up. So you can see Burnley at home, Leeds away, Liverpool's going to be a difficult game, Aston Villa, Leicester, Fulham and Wolves. So it'd be good to see how he can perform there. So he's going to be in my squad playing there. Lingard against Newcastle. Well, what can I say about this guy? I think I've spoken enough about his talent and how crucial he is to West Ham and this setup. 26.5% ownership, so he's got 82 points. The guy's an absolute goal machine at the moment. 4 goals in his last 3 games, 3 double-digit game week points in the last 3 games. So he's got 38 points in 3 game weeks. Absolutely phenomenal. He's on fire. 2 goals as well to go with that. He's got Newcastle followed by Chelsea. These are some really good fixtures for me. Even though Everton's coming up as a red 4, I think they're all winnable games for West Ham. So I think that'd be a great story personally. If Lingard can get them there and he can take himself to the Euros, that'd be a great story for himself and the club of West Ham themselves. Jota is going to be my final midfielder. 16.5% ownership, 7 mil this price, 71 points. Didn't really get anything against Aston Villa. Last week he got 2 points, but I think he was involved quite heavily in the game. There's an offside decision in there as well, which was quite controversial, but I think he was part of that itself. But again, we've gone through the fixtures for Salah and Liverpool. Really good fixtures, and if there is a risk of rotation, I've still got Watkins and Alioski from the bench to come in and take his position. But all the rest of the 4 out of the 5 for me are pretty much nailed on to play week in, week out, barring Jota, who may be at risk of rotation because of Firmino. And we'll see how Klopp wants to use him just to make sure he doesn't get injured once again. So we'll go back to a few questions and then we'll go through my forwards and my subs and any other questions that you guys have. Is it time we triple up on Liverpool? I mean, I don't see why not. We've gone through the fixtures. I think there's some really good fixtures. No other competition really to play with. And that will be something that, Klopp will really be focusing upon. So I think if I was to triple up on Liverpool, Jota, Salah, maybe Trent. Yeah, Trent, I would definitely look at out of him. Alioski. Sorry, Alioski. I'm thinking of Alioski for what reason. Out of him and Robertson, I'll definitely pick Trent based on current form and just been much better this season overall between the 2 wingbacks. Iheanacho or Watkins. Now I have Watkins in my squad, but Iheanacho has been phenomenal. 2 goals last week against West Ham. I think he's in great form. Leicester are playing West Brom, so he's a good shout. West Brom haven't been bad. They beat Chelsea 5-2 away, and they won 3-0 convincingly over the weekend. So yeah, watch out for that space. But Iheanacho, yeah, I would definitely consider him. But over Watkins, I think it's a close call. Either way, I understand your decision, but based on this week's fixture, Iheanacho seems more favourable playing West Brom. Is KDB still at risk of rotation? I think he is. It's just far too much talent pool for Guardiola, and he's going to make sure he solidifies his position in the Champions League and other competitions. Does he want to win the quadruple? Of course he does. Does he want to make a legacy for Man City? Of course he does. It's the first time they've gone past the quarterfinal stage. Last 16 stage for Man City. So hey, let's see how they do. But yeah, he's risk of rotation. They don't play with a regular number 9 or a striker up front, so it'll be worth maybe taking him out. But if you do play him, it's your choice because he's not going to be playing in the next game week. So if you do have a chance to take him out, bring in Salah, Fernandes, or even other options like Rashford, Son, if you don't have him in your squad, that would be a good asset to bring in. Even Pepe as a differential, been really well recently for Arsenal. Again, risk of rotation because Arteta, you can never be too certain. But yeah, that was someone I would definitely be looking at in terms of taking out my squad. I've already done it, but if that was you in that situation, I'd advise you the same to take them out of your squad. Best differential player this week, I've already discussed it. Iheanacho for me, not really much of a differential, but I think he's really come along a long way. Good fixture coming up as well. So I think, against West Brom, it'll be worth having him in your squad. Anyone else in terms of differential? Maybe Bowen up front for West Ham. They are playing this week Newcastle away, so that might be a good shout having him in the team as well, linking with Lingard to potentially get them some solid points in this week. In my strikers, I've got Bamford playing Liverpool at home. He got an assist against Man City. He's in some really good form. Selfless, I think that's what I like most about Bamford. Goes back his game, plays for the team, scores goals and gets just as many assists. And I think, Liverpool's defence has been shaky, and I don't see a reason why he cannot profit from that lack of confidence. And no Van Dijk, of course. And then last but not least, my captain, Harry Kane, double game week. I've discussed a lot about him in my captaincy and top 5 picks. Has to be probably the most favoured or like the most picked captain or the most favourable captain choice for this game week for managers. So I've got him as well. And he's going to be my captain for this week. So that's my squad, guys. My bench, obviously Martin and Douglas, they hardly ever play, but the 2 players I've got to come in just in case there is anyone rotated is Watkin and Alioski. Looking at the team, the only person I can see being at risk of rotated or benched is probably going to be Jota or Rudiger, but I've got a cover for both positions if needed be. So fingers crossed I should have 11 outfield players with 3 double game week players coming this week. So my expectations is high. If I had an expectation for the points I'm looking for with that squad there and the double game weeks, yeah, I'll be looking for anywhere between 60 to 75. Anything more, obviously great. Anything less, I'll have to review how that game week has gone. But that's my squad, guys. Let me know what you think. That's my team selection for game week 32 of this FPL season. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Are there any players I've discussed that you're looking to bring in now because of my kind of like discussion or thoughts around them? Are there any players that you're looking at that I haven't discussed and you want some advice over it? Leave some comments in the comment section on YouTube. Contact me on Twitter or my Instagram, which is stated below. Join the league. FPL INKLING League. It's growing week in, week out. We're making it a strong league, so please join the league itself. And in terms of the fixtures itself, I usually do it in the team selection, but what I'll do is I'll do it in the deadline stream to go through because there's a few more fixtures than usual and they're scattered over different days, which will be quite an interesting one this week because there's basically going to be football every day from Friday all the way till next Thursday. So happy days, and they're all going to be live on TV to be seen. So yeah, if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe to FPL INKLING, help me get to that magical 500 subscribers mark by game week 38. It's not long to go, guys. Now it's, I think, 7 weeks left, and we've not even reached halfway. But I think I've done about 7 weeks worth of videos anyway, so I'm pretty much on target. So help me give that final push. And let me know what you guys thought. Hit the notification icon if you want to get the latest notifications. And contact me for any kind of tips or any information you need regarding team selection or your choice for this week or weeks coming ahead. Have a lovely week ahead. Best of luck for this game week. And I'll see you guys soon in the deadline stream.